Over these past months, and especially these past few weeks, when you've been taking care of me here at home, I've come to realize how very, very much I want to be near you. I want to touch you, see you. How very much I need you as a part of my life. This red rose is my passion for you. And this white rose, that's my love for you. Will you be my wife?
You want me to be your wife?
I think that's what I said. You need some more time?
Oh, no. No, it's not that. I just don't know what to say.
Try yes.
Oh, yes, Mac. Yes. Yes.
Hey!
Please be Jamie. Hello? Oh, hi. No, I'm not disappointed it's you. No, I look forward to your phone calls. I love you. Come to San Francisco this weekend? No, darling, I don't think I can. Well, I thought we agreed that we wait until after the custody hearing, and then I'd come out. Darling, it's this problem with Jamie. I just feel I should stay here until I've worked it all out, you know? Yes, I know. Well, I'm lonely, too. No, there's nothing I'd like more than to be out there with you. Look, as soon as it's cleared up, I'll come out, okay? I miss you very much. Well, how are you doing? Oh, okay. Yes, I love you. Oh, Amanda and Matthew send their love. Yes, they miss you, too. I love you very much. Thank you for calling. Bye.
When the fire lasts all night,
You want to talk?
Yeah, I want to talk. Does that surprise you?
No, I was expecting you. In fact, I was thinking of going to the hospital to see you.
Were you?
Yeah.
I have some trouble believing that.
I was thinking about it.
You know what I think? I think you're far too much of a coward to face me directly. But now we are going to talk about my wife's death.
Another world.
Oh, my goodness. I really didn't expect that.
Oh, come on, Alice. I haven't been all that subtle. You've known for a long time how much I care for you.
Well, it's not that. It's just that...
You think it is happening too fast?
I don't know.
Time is relative, Alice. We've known each other for years. In terms of months, weeks, perhaps we have had a rather short, well, what do you say, courtship. But every one of those moments, it's been very rewarding to me. Very special moments.
They've been very special to me, too, Mac.
Can I tell you something?
Please.
For a very long time now, I've really needed somebody in my life like you. I haven't always known it, but I did. I have to admit to you that when Rachel left me, I was devastated.
I know, Mac.
I just thought I was never going to be able to stop loving that woman.
And have you?
I think I'll always have a special kind of love, a place in my heart for Rachel. She's Amanda's mother, Jamie's mother. We had many happy years. Years filled with good memories. But if you're asking me, is it the kind of love that a man feels for a woman that he wants? I don't have that kind of love for Rachel anymore. Does it bother you that I'm telling you this?
No, it doesn't. And I do know what you mean. I never thought I could love another man after Stephen. He was my whole world for so many years, even after he was dead. And then suddenly I found myself falling in love with you. And you know what?
What?
I was frightened.
Frightened?
Frightened of those feelings. Feelings that I'd repressed for so many years. But as I grew to know you, and grew to care for you with more understanding, I wasn't frightened anymore. And I know now that even though Stephen, like Rachel, will always hold a place in my heart, it's the memories that I'll love and the good times that we had.
I'm glad you could say this to me.
In you, I found a man to fill my life now. And I do love you, Mac. I love you so very much.
Well, we need Jamie to testify.
Are you saying to me that if he's not here, I might lose Amanda?
No. What I'm saying is that if Jamie testifies, Mac's lawyers are going to have a hard time proving that you're not fit to be Amanda's mother.
Yes, but suppose Jamie's not back in time.
Well, then we'll just have to do our best without his testimony.
I guess we have no alternative. I mean, I don't know where he is, Brian.
Oh, please.
Oh, Brian.
Rachel, don't get upset.
How can I not get upset? I mean, this custody hearing is ruining my whole life. Amanda, Matthew, and I should be out there with Mitch in San Francisco, and our whole life is at a standstill here in Bay City.
I know. It must be very difficult for you. But it's all going to be over soon. Very soon. I never meant for Tracy to die.
That doesn't help.
I know. Look, Russ, you've got to let me explain.
You never did stop loving Tracy, did you?
No. But I promise you, she never knew about it. She thought all that was over with. Anyway, I guess I said something to Ilsa about you coming to Las Vegas and how I felt about it.
She just suggested that you have me killed?
No.
No, that's not how it happened at all. She said she would take care of the problem. I didn't know what she meant.
What did you think she meant? That she would talk to me about it?
No, I don't know. I guess I thought she would send some goons after you to threaten you to certainly detain you. I swear I never thought that she meant to kill you. When I finally did understand what she had in mind, though, I tried to stop it. I begged her to call it off, but she told me it was too late. That's when I found out that Tracy had taken the car to the airport to surprise you. I drove out there like a crazy person to stop the whole thing, but I was too late. I couldn't. Tracy was dead. I loved her. You've got to believe me. I never meant to do anything bad to Tracy.
You know, when this happened, when I found out how it happened, I wanted to kill you. Yeah, I bought a gun. But now that I see what you really are, no, I'm not going to kill you. You're going to suffer a lot more being alive. I want you haunted by the memory of that night every day of your life.
Russ. You be okay? I'm gonna find out what's wrong.
Yeah, sure.
Hello? Why didn't you answer? Listen, you have to stop this. My husband's a policeman and he's gonna get you. He's gonna catch you. He's gonna find you.
He said he wasn't going to kill me. He wants me to stay alive. He wants me to be haunted by Tracy's death forever. And he's right, Melissa. I will be. It'll be hanging over my head for the rest of my life.
Look, you're never going to be able to forget it. But it doesn't mean that you can't have a life of your own.
I'm not so sure. You know, I was actually thinking that if this were ever over with, that you and I could actually have some kind of life together.
Well, that's what I want to do.
Daydreams. Don't you see the daydreams? I thought maybe I could become respectable. Be a father. A father a kid could look up to. But I'll never become respectable.
Don't say that.
I'm just being realistic, Melissa. Honey, can't you just see me applying for membership of a country club or the Chamber of Commerce or something? Before the ink was even dry in the paper, some trustee would be saying, oh, yes, Jason Dunlap. Has a nice wife, a couple of nice kids, business of his own, outstanding in every way, except for this one little thing. He had somebody killed.
Jason, I love you. I want to be with you. I know what happened to Tracy, and it doesn't mean that I love you any less.
You really mean that?
Yes, of course. More now than even before.
Why more now?
Because you're strong. And I didn't know how strong you were before.
Strong? How can you say that?
I mean, do you know how easy it would have been for you to run away and not stay here and face Russ? But you didn't do that. You stayed here and you faced him no matter what he was going to do to you.
I wanted to run.
But, Jason, you didn't.
You know why I didn't run? I couldn't.
I don't understand that.
I was afraid of losing you.
Are you very worried about Jamie, Mac?
To me, that's the letter of a man who's desperate to prove to himself and to everyone else that he can stand on his own 2 feet. I don't think anyone has the right to deny him that.
I'm afraid Mrs. Corey feels differently, Mac. She believes Jamie was driven from his home, his family, his friends, his job. And Rachel blames me for doing it. I guess you know that.
Yes, I know, but Rachel isn't right.
Well, I guess Jamie's the only one who really knows how he feels. By the way, Mrs. Corey called me earlier.
What about?
She wants me to see her tonight.
Wonder why?
Well, I don't know. But I want to see her anyway. There's something I want to tell her.
Would you mind telling me what it is?
She and Cecile apparently had quite a fight this morning. Now, I want Mrs. Corey to understand that Cecile is in no way responsible for what's happened to Jamie. If anyone's to blame, it's got to be me.
That isn't true either, Sandy.
Well, it might be, Mac.
I suppose there's nothing I can do or say to make you feel better about this?
No, sir, there isn't.
I don't know whether this is the right time, but there is something I want to tell you.
What, Mac?
Tonight, just before you came in fact, I asked Alice Frame to be my wife.
Well, what'd she say?
She said yes.
Well, congratulations. Oh, if that's what you want, Mac, I'm very happy for you.
Russ, wait a minute. You want to tell me what's going on?
It doesn't involve you.
I know it doesn't involve me, but it involves you, and I care.
I just had to settle something once and for all.
Look, going home to an empty apartment and sitting on it isn't going to do any good. Now, why don't you tell me what you had to settle? Is this with Jason Dunlap?
Yeah. You're going to read the details in the paper anyway. What it amounts to is that Jason was involved in Tracy's death.
But they were...
The bomb was meant for me. Tracy was in the car.
I'm sorry, Russ. I had no idea.
I had a few things to get off my chest. That's all. I'm okay now.
You sure of that?
Yeah. You know, I went out and bought a gun. I had this crazy idea that I was going to even the score. I didn't bring the gun.
No, it's understandable. A gun. Doesn't suit you.
I guess it doesn't. You know, this whole thing has taught me something about myself, something I guess I didn't want to face.
What's that?
I never allowed myself to grieve for Tracy. I don't know, maybe I didn't want to deal with the sadness, or I was afraid of the emptiness. Anyway, I buried myself in work, and I kept my feelings under control. Even made myself a promise.
What kind of promise?
A silly promise, really. Promised myself that I would never fall in love again. I didn't ever want to hurt like that, not ever again. So I figured if I could teach myself not to feel, then I wouldn't have a problem. But that's not living. That's just going through emotions.
Yeah, it is.
There's too many memories for me here, I think, in Bay City. Yeah, if I'm ever going to have a life with any kind of substance, it's not going to be here. Everybody reminds me of Tracy. I think I'm going to have to leave. I'll see you.
Louise?
Oh, Mr. Corey. Well, can I get you anything? Why didn't you ring?
Because, Louise, all I want is a few moments of your time.
Oh?
Please, sit down.
Is everything all right?
Everything is more than all right, Louise.
Well, then I don't understand.
I wanted you to hear this from me.
Hear what?
Someone is going to be moving back into this house soon on a permanent basis.
You mean Mrs. Corey is coming home? I knew it.
No, Louise, I'm not talking about the Mrs. Corey you're thinking of.
What do you mean?
I've asked Alice Frame to marry me, and she's accepted.
You're marrying Mrs. Frame?
Yes, Louise, and I hope that you will be happy about it.
Well, it's not that I'm unhappy. I just...
Just what?
It came as a surprise, that's all.
I'm sure you've seen it coming. My feelings for Mrs. Frame must have been very obvious to a woman as sensitive as you are, Louise.
I guess I didn't realize how involved you two had become. You must admit it has happened quickly.
Yes, but don't you worry. The decision was not made hastily. We are very sure, quite sure, we want to be together.
Well, I hope Mrs. Frame can make you as happy as Mrs. Corey did.
I know she will, Louise. Louise, both you and I know that Rachel will always be very special to me. But she's ended our marriage now. It's time for my life to go on. And I want to share it with Mrs. Frame.
Mr. Corey, I know it's not my place to say this, but perhaps you should give Mrs. Corey more time before you decide to marry someone else.
Louise, even if Mrs. Corey were to come back to me tomorrow, and she won't, it isn't possible we could make a go of it. Too much has happened, Louise. Too many things. I find it too difficult to accept. It's taken me a long time to get over my love for Rachel. But those feelings are gone now, forever.
If you say so.
I do. And I mean it. And I want you to believe it. I want you to be happy for me and for Mrs. Frame. When she moves into this house, I want her to feel very welcome, Louise.
She will be welcome, Mr. Corey. You have my word.
Thank you, Louise. And you mustn't worry. She's going to be good to me. She's going to be good for me. A good wife. I know it.
What's the matter? Baby, what's wrong?
Bruce, you all right?
I had another one of those phone calls, Larry.
You did? When?
Well, just a little while ago. I don't understand it. Why is this happening?
But you just had the phone number changed.
I know, but that's what I don't understand. What are we going to do, Larry?
Yes, I know how frightening this must be for you.
Well, it's terrible. I mean, if he's got our phone number, he might know where we live. What if he starts coming over here? I'm getting so I'm afraid to be alone.
You know, Clarice, the department gets a lot of calls about callers like these, but usually that's all that these people do is call. They get their kicks over the phone.
But it's so sick.
Well, I agree, but very rarely are they dangerous. I really don't think that you have to worry about somebody coming over here.
But he might. I mean, maybe he's unusual. I mean, there's no telling. There's no guarantee.
Okay, it's not going to do you any good to get upset, Clarice.
Honey, I can't help it. I'm scared, Larry.
Just calm down, all right?
Well, what are we going to do? Will we change that number again?
Yeah, we might have to.
Well, let's do anything. I want to stop these phone calls, honey. They frighten me too much.
I know you do, baby. Listen, I want you to do exactly what they told you at the phone company. I don't want you to answer this guy when he calls again. Now, I'm not going to let anything ever happen to you.
I guess so, honey.
That's a promise. Okay?
Honey, Matt proposed to me.
You're kidding.
No, I'm not.
Well, wait a minute. You accepted, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
Tell me everything. I want to know when, how, where.
Whoa. Slow down. He just asked me a little while ago. We haven't set the date or anything yet, but I'm hoping we'll be married soon, but we're keeping it a secret for a little while.
Oh, Mom, this is going to be so wonderful for you.
I think so, too. And I want it to be wonderful for you. Mac and I would both love to have you here.
Oh, let me tell you what I love to live in this house.
So, right after the marriage, you can live here for as long as you want.
Oh, great. Wait a minute. Are you telling me that you're moving back into Grandpa's until after the wedding?
Yes.
Well, why? I mean, since you're getting married anyway, why bother?
No, Sally. That's not how Mac and I want to do it.
Well, Mom, it's not exactly like your kids.
That's precisely the point. Mac and I are not children. We've both been through marriages that were very painful. We want this marriage to be perfect, and we want to get it off to a good start.
Yeah, well, still, I don't think that there's anything wrong with you living here. It just doesn't make sense for you to move back to Grandpa's.
That's not the way Mac and I want to do it. Maybe you can't understand that, but...
Nope, I'll tell you honestly, I don't understand it at all. I mean, I don't know why you'd want to move out of this gorgeous house and back into Grandpa's.
When you moved in with Lee, you know that I hated it. But I finally realized that it made you happy, so I knew that I didn't have the right to impose my standards on you. Now I'm asking you, Sally, to let me do this in the way that I'm most comfortable.
And that means not moving into this house with Mac until you're married.
That's right. It may be a little old-fashioned.
Yeah, you're right about that. But if that's what you want...
It is. You are happy for me, aren't you, baby?
Oh, of course I am. I'm so happy for you. And you know, I think this is the most wonderful thing that has ever happened to you.
Well, you certainly took your time coming here.
I got here as soon as I could, Miss Corey.
Davis. It's Davis. Do you think you can remember that?
Yes, ma'am.
Come on in.
Thank you.
Did Mac tell you about the letter that he received from Jamie?
Yes, he told me just a little while ago.
I expect that Cecile told you about it, too.
Yes, she did.
Do you know what was in it?
Yes, Mac showed it to me.
Did he? I don't know why I should be surprised. You've all driven Jamie out of town. I guess you would want to be reassured that what he was doing was the best thing so none of you would feel guilty about it.
That's not why Mac showed me the letter.
Isn't it?
No. Miss Davis, I'm worried about Jamie, too.
Really?
Yes, really. I don't know why you refuse to believe that.
I guess your actions speak louder than your words, Sandy.
Well, what does that mean?
You and Cecile have driven my son out of town. Before that, you tried to convince him he was going out of his mind. You have taken away his job from him, you have taken his father from him, and now you have taken his wife from him. Although I can't imagine why you'd want her. On the other hand, of course, I guess you deserve each other. But now you expect me to believe that you're worried about my son?
I take it, Ms. Davis, that it would be impossible for me to convince you that I'm concerned about Jamie, too.
Yes, impossible.
Then, really, that's not why I'm here, is it? No, you called me, you asked me to come over here. And now I guess you've said what you have to say to me, right?
Yes, for the moment.
Well, there's something I'd like to say to you.
Well, I can hardly wait.
Look, Jamie's gone. It's a fact. There's nothing I can do about it. Now, you can blame me all you want for everything that's happened to Jamie. I probably blame myself more than you ever could. But don't ever blame Cecile for any of this.
What are you saying?
Cecile stood by Jamie. She tried to make that marriage work. Now, I saw it. She put everything she had into that relationship, and it was Jamie who finally walked out on her. Now, he left her without so much as an explanation.
Well, possibly there wasn't an explanation needed. Not if he found you two in bed together.
Well, that's not the way it happened at all.
Oh, really?
I admit I've had feelings for Cecile for a long time. But I never acted on those feelings until after, and I mean after, Jamie walked out on Cecile.
Well, I don't believe you.
But it's the truth, Miss
Nothing you can say to me will let me believe that.
Fine, great. Don't believe me. But Cecile never cheated on Jamie, and I never did anything to encourage her in any way. I never showed her how I felt about her. And I watched as she struggled to make that marriage work.
Oh, please spare me.
And when it didn't, and Jamie finally walked out on her, she was devastated. She was alone. She had no one to turn to. And it was then and only then that I told her that I loved her. And then she turned to me. I was the one who moved in on Jamie's wife, if that's what you want to hear, Miss Davis. Cecile never did anything to make it happen.
She's really fooled you, hasn't she? I feel sorry for you, Sandy. I don't know why I should, but I do. I expect I should be grateful to you. That woman made my son's life miserable. I should be grateful to you for moving in, taking Jamie's place in her life. But I'll tell you one thing, Sandy. She will make your life miserable, too.
You're really worried about those phone calls, aren't you?
Yeah, you bet I am. I didn't want Clarice to know because I don't want her any more upset than she already is. Yeah, I'm worried. The idea of some guy doing this to Clarice, it makes me real mad, you know? I feel like he's invading my privacy. He's intruding in my life.
Yeah. Listen, do you have any ideas about what you're going to try to do to stop it?
Yeah, I got a couple.
Like what?
When we're out working, I think we ought to come by this neighborhood every time we get a chance.
Yeah, it makes sense.
I'm going to talk with some of the guys down at the station. I'm sure they'll do the same. What I want to do is I want to keep this house under watch night and day.
Yeah, it's a start.
I swear, Jerry, I'm going to catch this creep. He's not going to be doing this much longer. I want to make sure of that.
In every way, it's truly been a beautiful night, hasn't it, Alice?
Yes. A night I will always remember. Perfect place to be proposed to.
I'm glad you like it here. I hope you're happy in this house.
Oh, I will be. I know that already.
Good. You know, when I just walked in, you were looking off into the night with the most beautiful smile on your face. What were you thinking?
About you.
About me?
About you and me and Amanda and the life we're going to have together.
And those thoughts made you feel that happy?
They certainly did. Oh, Mac, I'm so excited.
So am I.
Oh, I told Sally we're getting married.
What'd she say?
Oh, she thought it was the best thing that ever happened to me. You know, I have to agree with her.
Flattery will get you everywhere. But really, truly, I'm the lucky one.
Let's call it a tie. We're both lucky.
Very lucky. Sandy wishes us all the best. I spoke to him about it. And also Louise.
How did Louise react?
You know how close she's always been to Rachel. Just give her a little time. She'll grow to realize we belong together.
I hope she does.
I know she will. Louise is a very bright woman. There's one other practical thing that we should discuss.
What is it?
Well, if you agree, I would like for you to pose for a professional photographer for some pictures.
Whatever for?
Because I want to put a picture of you in the paper with the announcement of our engagement.
Don't you think I'm a bit old for that, Matt?
Not a minute too old. Not a minute too young. You're just coming into the best part of your life, if you don't know it. Please, indulge me in this.
Why do you say that?
Because I want all of Bay City to know what a beautiful bride I've got.
Oh, Mac.
Please, Alice.
How could I possibly say no?
Then you'll have a session with a photographer.
Of course.
Thank you, darling.
No, thank you, Mac. You're making me feel like some fluttery-hearted young teenager.
That's exactly how I want you to feel. Oh, I love you.
I love you, Mac.
Well, look, we don't have to go roller skating. If you want, we could go to a movie or we could go to your house and watch TV. Jerry, what's wrong? Jerry, are you all right? Jerry? What happened?
I just got this terrible headache, that's all.
Just out of the blue like that?
Yeah, just out of the blue.
Are you okay now?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Does that happen to you often?
Really, it was nothing.
Boy, if that happened to me more than once, I'd be at the doctor's office so fast.
Everybody has headaches, Rhonda. Oh, come here. I'm sorry. Look, I'm okay now. What was it you said before?
I just said we didn't have to go roller skating if you didn't want to.
No, roller skating sounds fine.
You sure? I mean, with a headache and everything?
Yes, I am sure, Noe. Stop worrying. Thanks. You see Clarice every day, don't you?
Sure. We work together.
How does she seem to you?
Fine. Why'd you ask?
She's been getting these weird phone calls. The guy never says anything, but she can hear him breathing. It's really starting to scare her.
Oh, I can understand that. It sounds awful.
It is, especially since Larry works at strange hours sometimes.
Oh, it's spooky just hearing about it.
And she's never said anything to you about it.
Not to me, she hasn't.
Could you do me a favor, Rhonda?
Sure. Anything. You know that.
You keep an eye on her?
An eye on her like how?
Well, just try to see that she gets out of the shop while it's still light. You know, things like that.
Sure. I'll do what I can.
Good.
Sandy, what's the matter?
Nothing.
Come on.
That's nothing.
What is it? Tell me what happened.
I spoke with Rachel tonight.
Rachel? What did she want?
She wanted the same thing I guess she wanted when she talked to you earlier. She blames me for Jamie's disappearance.
No, us. She blames us.
Yeah, maybe. Anyway, I told her you had nothing to do with it.
You did.
I know how hard you worked for your marriage. But she was right about one thing. If I'd never come here, if I'd just stayed away from Bay City...
Please don't say that. You have to stop thinking that. I don't know what I would have done without you. I probably would have fallen apart. I love you so much.
I have to go.
Sandy. Can't you stay?
I don't think I should, Cecile.
Why not?
You're still my brother's wife. You're not divorced yet.
Oh, we haven't been husband and wife, Sandy, for a long time.
I know that, but it just doesn't feel right. I feel like I'm betraying Jamie.
And how do you feel about me?
I want you. I want you more than anything in the world. And I need you, but I have to go. I have to.
Oh. Please. I don't want to be alone. And I need you too.
Cecile. My head tells me that this isn't right, but I want you so.
We don't have to make love.
Cecile.
Please stay. Please stay with me. Don't go.
I'll stay.
Join us each weekday at this time for the continuing story of Another Worth,